Les joueurs sont prêts. Les Belges vont attaquer donc cette dernière mémoire pour les Belges et les Américains. C'est parti.
Kozoom Productions and the International Table Soccer Federation are presenting exciting World Championship and World Cup action from Nantes, France. I'm Jim Stevens, happy to be on hand here in the finals area for the finals of open doubles. This should be fun. It's the Belgians versus the United States. It's Roberto Sport versus Tornado, as Tracy MCMILLIN and Dave GUMMESON of the USA are facing off against Belgium's Frédéric COLLIGNON and Davy DEHOEST. We are underway, getting things started on the Belgian home table, the Roberto Sport table. And it's Tracy MCMILLIN starting in the forward position for the Americans. So some strategy early on. Dave GUMMESON generally the forward for this two-time Tornado World Championship team. In fact, of the last 4 Tornado World Championships in doubles, Frédéric COLLIGNON has won 2 of them with his partner, Todd Lafredo, and 2 of them have been won by Dave GUMMESON and Tracy MCMILLIN. Here's MCMILLIN setting it up in pull shot position. Unable to execute there, fortunate to get it back. Just getting the open doubles final underway. It's best of 5, each game played to 5. We'll start off on Roberto Sport, then move over to the Tornado table, back to Roberto Sport, Tornado, and then the final game, of course, will be played on both tables. And that point was scored by Tracy MCMILLIN to get his team on the scoreboard first. There you see the great Frédéric COLLIGNON, the world's greatest player. His partner, also out of Belgium, of course, Davy DEHOEST. COLLIGNON, the world champion on the Roberto Sport table, also the world champion on the Tornado table in open doubles, although he did finish second this year at Tornado to Billy Pappas of the United States. And Tracy MCMILLIN and Dave GUMMESON have defeated Frédéric COLLIGNON probably more than any other team in the world. Frédéric COLLIGNON does not lose very often, but over the last 6 or 7 years, he has lost 5 times to Dave GUMMESON and Tracy MCMILLIN, and it's now 1-1 as COLLIGNON ties it up. This is a match that could go either way, as they have proven previously. GUMMESON and MCMILLIN of the United States very capable of defeating the great Belgian. Fred now shooting against Dave GUMMESON, looking for a 2-1 lead here in game 1 on the Roberto Sport table. That shot wide of the goal, rebounded by GUMMESON. Dave will try the back pin series, a shot series that he first developed more than 25 years ago on the tournament soccer style of table, and he's getting a chance to resurrect that style of shooting here in this match on the Roberto Sport. 1-1 here in game 1. Nice pickup on the shooting rod by COLLIGNON. Quick shot attempt, rims off the corner. Rebounded by GUMMESON. Of course, as usual, you want to win the games on your home table as GUMMESON gets stuffed back into the goal by COLLIGNON. It's 2-1. And then hope to steal a game or perhaps a point or 2 in the 5th and final game. But the key also is to win on your home table. This, of course, the Roberto Sport, the home table of the Belgians. The Americans will be on the Tornado table. GUMMESON sends it to the other end of the table. It's retrieved by Davy DEHOEST. Belgians leading 2-1 early on. That shot just wide of the goal. There's COLLIGNON with those quick hands to retrieve it. Fred will set it up. And fire it home to the near side. Kozoom Productions and the ITSF are presenting live streaming from the 2010 ITSF Table Soccer World Championships, and of course World Cup later this weekend as well. Ryan Moore has already won the open singles title. Sandra Romph has won the women's singles title. The German Uli Stupel has won senior singles and senior doubles with Friedrich Kircher. As Tracy MCMILLIN now sets it up in pull shot position. And strokes it home. It's 3-2. So somewhat of an unfamiliar table for the Americans, the Roberto Sport, but they have proven with their victory last year in the big team event, the World Cup, that they are very good on all the tables, but especially good on Tornado, of course. Nice save by Gummison. Of course, Dave playing the forward position 98% of the time, but a man who can shoot the ball very well and one of the smartest players in the sport. So he'll do fine back there. Shot attempt down the middle, and there's Collignon again to grab it, set it up, and look to regain that 2-goal lead. Frédéric Collignon shooting against Dave Gummison will step away and call timeout. I'd like to welcome viewers all around the world watching exciting ITSF table soccer action. Here we go. Collignon putting it into play. And he strokes it home. It's 4-2. A 4-2 lead for Collignon and DeHoest. Ball grabbed on the 3-rod by McMillan. He'll look to pull the Americans back within 1. We trail 4-2 here in game 1 on the Belgian table. And Tracy MCMILLIN will step away and use a timeout. Frédéric Collignon of Belgium, who until last night had never lost a match at the ITSF Table Soccer World Championships in the elimination round. Ryan Moore of the USA was able to defeat him. And USA now also on the other side of the table in the doubles final. As McMillan will now shoot against Collignon. Tracy strokes it down the middle. It's 4-4. So the Americans hanging tough on the Roberto Sport table. Frédéric Collignon looking to pass, and he's able to do so. He'll set it up looking to win game number 1. The Americans have fought back to tie it up at 4, but Collignon can put it away right here and send it over the Tornado table for game 2. Rico shot to the far side. Gummison with a block. Unfortunately for David, comes back to Collignon, but the jar was called. The ball will be awarded to Dave Gummison in the goal area. So the jar called on the rebound, and Gummison awarded the ball. Americans would love to steal one on the Belgian home table. Shot down the middle on goal by Gummison. Here's Davy DeHoesst. Shot attempt, rattles towards the goal. A hustling attempt by Gummison, but he can't keep it in. Quick shot attempt by Collignon, comes back to Gummison. Ball rolls to a stop. Gummison will put it back into play. A dead ball in the goal area can be put back into play by the player in possession. Shot wide of the goal on the rebound by Collignon. It comes back to Gummison into the back pin. Shot towards the goal. DeHoesst with a rebound. Right now, the pressure on the Belgians. This is their home table. Anything the Americans can get. It is 4-3, as you saw. The Americans are fighting to stay in this first game. Well, it is just 4-3 in favor of the Belgians. There's Dave Gummison setting it up in pull shot position. Stubs the ball, rattles it up the table. DeHoesst with the rebound. Frédéric COLLIGNON. Passing it through, and here's a chance again for Fred to put away the first game. Leading 4-3, COLLIGNON shooting against Gummeson. Will call timeout.
Nouveau temps mort demandé par l'équipe de Belgique. Il faut, je rappelle, avoir la balle en possession pour demander un temps mort.
4-3 here in the first game in favor of the Belgians. The ball is in possession of the great Frédéric COLLIGNON of Liège, Belgium. And Tracy MCMILLIN is going to move back into defensive position to try to keep Frédéric COLLIGNON out of the goal and keep the Belgians from winning this first game. Second game will move over to the tornado table. Frédéric COLLIGNON puts it into play and sets it up. For a first game win, Frédéric COLLIGNON fires it home against McMillan. So the Belgians win game number 1 of the Open Doubles World Championship Final. And we're going to head on over to the tornado table. And this is familiar territory for Dave Gummeson and Tracy MCMILLIN as Ingrid Aubin looks on, Frédéric COLLIGNON's significant other. Gummeson and McMillan, who have won 2 of the previous 4 Tornado World Championships in open doubles. Both of their victories coming against Frédéric COLLIGNON and his American partner, Todd Lafredo. And at the Tornado World Championships, Gummeson and McMillan, as we mentioned earlier, have defeated Frédéric COLLIGNON and Todd Lafredo 5 different times in the last 7 years. On 3 of those occasions, however, COLLIGNON and Lafredo came back to win the championship in that double elimination format. And again, it's so important to win the games on your table. Kazoom Productions and the ITSF are bringing you the 2010 ITSF Table Soccer World Championships and World Cup from Nantes, France. I'm Jim Stevens, happy to be on hand to bring you all the excitement of professional table soccer. As we move over to the tornado table, the American table, Gummeson and McMillan needing a win to tie this match up at 1 game apiece. Dave Gummeson will put it into play as he returns to his familiar forward position. And the ball lost back to COLLIGNON, and Fred's got a chance to get on the scoreboard first. Tracy MCMILLIN, one of the great goalies in the world of table soccer. No score here in game number 2. Davy DEHOEST setting it up in the center of the goal. Really just doesn't want to do anything too dangerous, too spectacular. The idea for Davy DEHOEST is to get the ball to his partner. Dave Gummeson picking it up. Dave, a practitioner of the lane wall series on the 5-row. There you see it. He'll hesitate and go along the wall, or he'll go very hard through that lane between the 2 yellow men at the top. Goes along the wall here and sets it up against DEHOEST. And finds the straight hole. It's 1-0. Gummeson and McMillan score first here in game 2. Of course, the advantage that Frédéric COLLIGNON has against every other player in the world is his greatness on every table. Only recognized as the best player in the world on every table. Although guys like Tony Sprademan and Ryan Moore and Billy Pappas may make an argument on the tornado table. Ball put back into play by McMillan. And McMillan able to stroke home that pole shot. It's 2-0. Here's COLLIGNON coming back, setting it up. Trailing 2-0 here in game 2, and he now makes it 2-1 as Collignon again able to convert that European-style front pin shot. 2-1 lead in score here in game 2. 1-0 lead in games for the Belgians, Collignon and De Hoest, who won the opening game on the Roberto Sport table. Here's De Hoest, banking it off the inside wall on goal. Rebound comes to GUMMESON on his passing rod. Dave GUMMESON, one of the great fibers. You can see how crisply he goes through that lane. Dave sets it up, looking for a 3-1 lead. Taking its time and then explodes down the middle. It's 3-1. Back comes Collignon. Fred taking it to the far side of the goal. Fakes and rattles one off the outside wall. Fortunate effort there for the Belgians, but they'll take it. It's 3-2. Dave GUMMESON. Pass blocked by Collignon. And that's De Hoest playing the forward position. And he's going to step aside and allow Frédéric Collignon to return to forward.
Allez, un nouveau temps mort avec toujours cet avantage pour l'équipe belge avec une manche remportée, mais un retard d'un point. 3-2 dans la mise à blanche pour les Américains.
Ball put back into play. 3-2 lead for the Americans here in game 2. GUMMESON weaving, tries to pass along the wall, blocked by Collignon. And this time GUMMESON able to advance it. A quick shot attempt taken away by De Hoest. Dave not happy about that effort. Every shot so important. You don't want to waste those possessions. David De Hoest, the least experienced, obviously, of these players on Tornado. That ball goes up into the air and off the table. Ball put back into play by Tracy MCMILLIN. And McMillan again getting offensive, able to fire that one into the goal. It's 4-2. That's 2 for Tracy. Of course, we know Tracy MCMILLIN, one of the great scorers from the goalie position that we've ever seen. David De Hoest. Shot attempt and Tracy MCMILLIN in possession of the ball. Tracy taking his time. Sets it up and rattles it into the goal. So game 2 goes to the Americans on the Tornado table. It's 1 game apiece.
Égalisation de l'équipe américaine à une manche partout. Début de la 3e manche.
Back over to Roberto Sport we go. For game number 3, the Americans won that second game to tie it up at 1 apiece. And Tracy MCMILLIN able to stroke that one in to open up the scoring on that practice shot. And here we go, getting the third game underway. Collignon, first scoring opportunity of game number 3. Of course, the Belgians won the first game on Garlando. And they open up scoring here on the third game on the Roberto Sport table. We have inadvertently said Garlando. Of course, we mean Roberto Sport, the home table of the Belgians. And Collignon able to steal it away. And he now looks for a 2-0 lead. So Frédéric Collignon and David DEHOEST have come out here in game number 3, and they lead 2-0 after GUMMESON and McMillan won the second game on Tornado. But really, that's what you fight for. You win the games on your table, you send it to a 5th game, and you try to steal one on the other guys if you can. And McMillan, again, shooting the ball well on Roberto Sport, as we saw in the first game. It's now 2-1. 2-1 lead for the Belgians here in game number 3. Frédéric Collignon losing the ball back to McMillan, who's back in that goalie position. Tracy scored 3 in that game on Tornado. Of course, 2006 at the Tornado World Championships, Tracy MCMILLIN scored 10 times from goal in the final, in 5 games. One of the great goalie performances ever. Collignon, though, has an opportunity here to make it 3-1, and Fred, as he so often does, uses an intelligent early game timeout to control the tempo, to counteract any momentum that the opponent might be attaining. There is no smarter player in the world of table soccer than that man right there, Frédéric Collignon. This year playing with Davy DEHOEST for the first time at the World Championships. He's won in previous years with Ismail Saban, Jamal Alalou. Chance to make it 3-1 here for Fred. Shooting against McMillan. Collignon fires it home to the near side. It's 3-1. Tracy MCMILLIN moving back to forward. Dave GUMMESON to goal for the Americans. Tracy MCMILLIN looks comfortable on this table. Shot attempt blocked by DEHOEST. Comes back to Tracy. McMillan strokes that long pull shot home. It's 3-2. Americans fighting on the Roberto Sport table. Collignon and DEHOEST hoping to hang on and win this third game and send it back over to Tornado. And Collignon with an opportunity here to make it 4-2. He'll shoot against Dave GUMMESON this time. Collignon. Shot attempt blocked and taken away by GUMMESON. So much intensity on the table right now. And the pickup on the 3-row by McMillan. Tracy with a chance to tie it up at 3. Shot attempt taken away by DEHOEST. Davy might try to bank here. Shot attempt blocked, comes back to DEHOEST. Davy DEHOEST on the front pin. Shot attempt comes towards the goal. Nice retrieval by GUMMESON. Dave's quick shot attempt. Davy DEHOEST of Belgium again in possession of the ball. shot up into the air and off the table. The Zoom Productions and the International Table Soccer Federation are bringing you exciting action from the 2010 ITSF Table Soccer World Championships. That one rattles into the goal against Gummeson. Dave disappointed as he steps away from the table. And the Belgians are on top 4-2 on their home table. Davy DEHOEST. Shot attempt retrieved by Gummeson. Gummeson likes to use the back pin shot. And Collignon steals it away. A chance here for Frédéric Collignon and David DEHOEST to win game 3. Shot attempt blocked by Gummeson. Comes back to Collignon. World Open doubles title at stake in Collignon, able to score to win game number 3. And let's head back over to Tornado.
Deux manches à une pour l'équipe Frédéric Collignon, Davy DEHOEST. Début de la 4e manche. Je vous rappelle qu'à l'issue de cette finale, nous retrouvons la toute dernière.
Frédéric Collignon, David DEHOEST won the first game on Ribeiro Sport. The Americans, Gummeson and McMillan, came back to win game number 2. Game 3 went to the Belgians as well. But we return to the American table now, the Tornado. American fans getting a little nervous. The boys are down 2-1. Win on Tornado, and we head to that exciting 5th game format. Nothing better in the world of table soccer than a 5th game at the ITSF Table Soccer World Championships. And we go back and forth between the tables. We'll explain that format to you if and when we reach that point. Dave Gummeson will put the ball into play. A must-win game for the Americans, who trail 2-1. And here we go. Pass attempt along the wall by Gummeson. He'll set it up in pull shot position. Looking for the first point, and he gets it. Gummeson stroking home the pull shot. It's 1-0 in favor of the Americans here in game 4. Dave Gummeson, an American who is in the Table Soccer Hall of Fame in the United States, one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. Frédéric Collignon will join him there someday. Of course, Frédéric Collignon already considered the greatest. Looking to add yet another title to his impressive list of accomplishments here in the Open Doubles Final in Nantes in the year 2010. Circling the ball, Frédéric Collignon. Shot attempt blocked and taken away by Tracy MCMILLIN. We'll notice that this Tornado table has just the one-man goalie. That's the banked corners. Standard ITSF table. Shot attempt wide of the goal by McMillan. David DEHOEST in possession of the ball. Davy will set it up in the center. You see the intensity of Dave Gummeson. DEHOEST setting it up in the center of the table, just again looking to get the ball to Collignon if he can. Tracy MCMILLIN is able to grab this one in the goal area, and Tracy will set it up. Quick pass attempt by McMillan, blocked by Collignon. Tracy once again. Tracy out of the state of Texas in the United States. Sets it up and strokes it home. Tracy MCMILLIN again from the goalie position, able to score. I believe that's 4 of them in this match on the Tornado table. In fact, he's got 4 of the 7 points that the Americans have scored. Collignon coming back with a quick shot. McMillan there defensively this time. Blocks it into the air and off the table. In many people's opinion, Tracy MCMILLIN is the greatest goalie in the world of table soccer. He's continuing to show you why as he scores and blocks against the great Collignon. Two nothing as Collignon sets it up. Fred to the near side. McMillan with a block. Rebound comes back to Frédéric Collignon, who quickly converts to the far side. It's 2-1. McMillan, Gummeson in a situation where they must win the game. And the crowd would love to see this one go to a fifth game. Gummeson looking for a 3-1 lead. From pull shot position, Dave Gummeson. Tried to go down the middle, rattles into the goal. It's 3-1. The Americans back in control on their home table, the Tornado. Collignon. Looking to pull back within one. Shot attempt up into the air and off the table again. Tracy McMillan doing the job defensively. McMillan will put it back into play. Quick shot attempt blocked by Collignon. Comes back to McMillan. Another shot wide of the goal. DeHoest with a rebound. Davy will just look to get the ball out of his area. Unable to do so far on this possession. Shot down the middle on goal, blocked by McMillan, and Gummeson able to grab the ball on his passing ride quickly through the lane, but Dave can't hold on to the pass. Davy DeHoest banks it off the outside wall. Tracy McMillan sets it up in full shot position. Now brings it to the near side. Collignon hustling defensively, slicing effort on goal. Rebound stabbed at by Gummeson, eventually grabbed by DeHoest. Davy clears the zone, sending it to the other end of the table. Here's McMillan. The Americans lead 3-1 here in game number 4. It's 2-1 in favor of the Belgians. Tracy McMillan. Beautiful pass by McMillan. Right onto the 3-row of his partner Gummeson, who's got an opportunity to give his team a 4-1 lead here in game 4. As Dave sets it up. Takes a look at the defense, then has his shot blocked and taken away by Davy DeHoest, who has done a good job back there, despite the fact that Davy is not real experienced on the Tornado table, at least in tournament play. McMillan in possession. Tracy will slow the tempo down. Slice one down the table. DeHoest with a rebound. And DeHoest able to score from goal. A bonus for the Belgians. It's 3-2. Dave Gummeson with a solid passing ride. Big shot here for Gummeson. He sets it up in pull shot position. Shot attempt blocked and taken away by DeHoest. Gummeson's had some opportunities here to send his team into a controlling position. But DeHoest has done a good job defensively against Dave. And again, David DeHoest from goal. Unexpected source of offense. That's 2 in a row for DeHoest, and it's 3-3. And the ball stolen away by Collignon. 3-3 here in the 4th. Americans seemingly were in control on Tornado, up 3-1. But the Belgians have come back, and Frédéric Collignon is going to use a timeout. Frédéric Collignon has possession of the ball on his 5-rod. The Belgians lead 2-1. We're on the American table, the Tornado. Americans were up 3-1. Belgians have tied it at 3. Collignon has possession. looking to possibly advance it and give his team the lead here in this decisive fourth game. The Belgians win this game, they're the champions. The Americans can pull it out. We go to a fifth and final game. Frédéric COLLIGNON puts the ball into play. GUMMESON defensively trying to stop COLLIGNON, and he does, taking it away. Dave GUMMESON can either go wall or lane. Both of them with lots behind them, but COLLIGNON able to make the block and take it away. Quick pass attempt, rattles towards the goal. McMillan keeps it out. Tracy McMillan have another big shot in it. Yes, he does. Tracy McMillan, that's 5. It's 4-3. What a performance by McMillan, but will it be enough? Frédéric COLLIGNON passing it through the lane, a chance to move it in one of the world title for COLLIGNON. Quick shot, it's an interesting choice there. I'm not sure what Fred was thinking. He resets it in front pin position and calls timeout.
Allez, temps mort pour les Belges à nouveau. Le deuxième de cette série. Les Américains en ayant utilisé
Tracy McMillan and Dave GUMMESON. Thanks to the exploits of McMillan, the 4-3 here in the fourth, but COLLIGNON with a chance to tie it. And he does. Stroking into the near side. It is world championship point for the Belgians, Frédéric COLLIGNON and Davy DEHOEST. All the pressure on the shoulders of the Americans as GUMMESON puts it into play. Dave GUMMESON with a chance now to win game number 4. Huge shot for the American. GUMMESON taking his time.
You said reset before you said time.
Asking about a reset. GUMMESON will put it back into play. Set it up once again in pull shot position, looking to send it to game 5. Dave GUMMESON strokes it into the goal. GUMMESON and McMillan hold on in game number 4 on the tornado table. Tracy McMillan walks away, takes a deep breath. We're heading over to Roberto Sport for 2 balls, followed by 2 balls on Tornado. Back to Roberto Sport for 2. And into Tornado. If we're tied at 4, we go 1 ball on each table until someone wins by 2. There is no more exciting format in the world of table soccer. We get a chance to put it on display right here in this open doubles final as the Americans hold serve on their table, and we'll go to game number 5.
Et on repart donc vers cette 5e manche un petit peu particulière.
Referee says, let's play. Frédéric COLLIGNON will put the ball into play. 2 balls on the Roberto Sport table as we open up game 5. Again, much like it is the rest of the match, as you want to win the balls on your table, COLLIGNON wins the first one as he strokes that one home. If you can steal a ball on the opponent's table, you're in good position if you can hold serve on your own table. Tracy McMillan in the forward position, rattles one towards the goal, grabbed by Davy DEHOEST. Davy, who came up with a couple of big shots on Tornado in that previous game, that one back towards the goal, rims off the corner, DEHOEST with a rebound. Don't know how that one didn't go in. DEHOEST down the middle and hit back into the goal by Tracy McMillan. The Americans do steal a goal on the Roberto Sport table as we head back over to Tornado. Possible classic match unfolding here in the finals area at the 2010 ITSF Table Soccer World Championships. All of it, of course, brought to you by Kazoom Productions, who's bringing you this exciting live streaming event. Frédéric Collignon able to pass it through. Let's see if he can get one of the two or possibly more on the tornado table. Looking for a 2-1 lead here. Collignon against McMillan. Shot attempt blocked by Tracy to the other end of the table where it's retrieved by DeHoest. Tracy McMillan has been spectacular so far in this match. Where would the Americans be without McMillan? Gummeson, of course, made that big shot to win game 4. Collignon looking to make a big shot right here. Frédéric Collignon. Taking his time. Shot attempt. Blocked and taken away by McMillan. Tracy McMillan on goal off the corner. Keeps it out on his end of the table. Great reactions. He made the shot. Quickly had to switch over into defensive mode to keep the rebound from going in his own goal. McMillan slices it off that push shot set. Rebounded by Collignon. Fred has possession on the 5-row. Into the weave and through the lane. Another chance for Collignon to give Belgium the lead. McMillan, can he do it again? Collignon. Shot to the near side. McMillan with a block. Stabbed that towards the goal by Collignon and rebounded by Tracy. McMillan down the middle on goal. Continues to put shots on goal from that 2-rod. Rebounded by DeHoest. 1-1 in the 5th game. The Americans were able to get one of the 2 on the Roberto Sport table, and Gummeson takes it away. 3 blocks by McMillan have created this situation where Gummeson can give the Americans the lead. As he sets it up in pull shot position. Shot attempt to the long hole, blocked by DeHoest. Comes back to Gummeson. Again, Dave looks for the lead. Shot attempt, trying to go to the straight hole here, and DeHoest there defensively. Davy DeHoest sets it up. Tries to bank it or get it out of his area and into the hands of his talented partner, Collignon. Another shot attempt, dangerously close to getting blocked back into the goal by Gummeson. American fans are nervous. Again, DeHoest blocked up into the air and off the table. And the ball will be put back into play by Tracy McMillan of the USA. So much intensity on the table and the world title at stake. McMillan puts it into play. He has been gigantic during the course of this match. Shot attempt blocked by Collignon's 3-rod. Comes back to Tracy McMillan. McMillan rattles one up the table. Collignon with those quick hands able to retrieve it. Quick pass attempt blocked by Gummeson. Collignon picking up the tempo on the 5-row right now. Moving that ball quickly back and forth, and then again through the lane. So Collignon with yet another opportunity to give his team the lead. Shot attempt blocked by McMillan. That quick flip over straight. McMillan was there. Gummeson. Right through along the wall. Again. Both of them blocked by Collignon. Dave tried to brush it through the lane. DeHoest couldn't keep it in his area. And Gummeson is able to retrieve it on his 3-rod. Another chance for Dave to take the lead. Boy, points have been hard to come by on the tornado table here in this 5th game. And again, DeHoest there. Belgians watching with great interest. Collignon's had success with that straight pass through the lane. Fred taking a lot of time. And tried to go to the far side. Blocked away. Grabbed again by Collignon. Tracy McMillan continuing to put the stops on Collignon. Will it be enough? That pass squeezes through. I believe this is the 6th chance for Collignon. Make it the 7th. Pull kick effort this time. McMillan there on both of them. And that pass attempt rattles into the goal. Dave GUMMESON tried to do a pass to the near side. It hit off a man, angled into the goal. The Americans are up 2-1. Pressure on the Belgians. And again, Collignon able to squeeze that pass through. Tracy MCMILLIN, I believe, has been blocked 7 straight shots. Can he do it again? Collignon. Tried to go to the near side. It is blocked again by MCMILLIN. GUMMESON couldn't grab it on his 3-rod. And Collignon again with an opportunity to advance it to his shooting rod. And he does. Looking to tie it up at 2 and send it back over to the Roberto Sport table. Frédéric Collignon shooting against the very tough Tracy MCMILLIN. And Tracy takes it away. And puts it in the goal. What a performance by Tracy MCMILLIN. 8 straight blocks and then a score. It's 3-1 in favor of the Americans as we move back over the Roberto Sport table. This is deja vu, although Tracy MCMILLIN doing it on both sides. In this match, we saw him great offensively in that 2006 Tornado World Championship final. He's been great defensively. He's been great offensively. I believe he has 6 in this final match, not to mention the defensive job he's doing against this man right here, Collignon, who angles that one beautifully into the goal. It's 3-2, showing such finesse. GUMMESON now moving back to goal. Left hook attempt by MCMILLIN. Grabbed by Dave GUMMESON. Americans would love to steal one on this table, but they will go back to their home table. Somehow GUMMESON kept that one out. Go back to their home table, even if they give this one up, with a chance to win the World Championship by getting 2 balls on their home table. If they pick one up here, and just the one, but Frédéric Collignon and Davy DEHOEST, great Belgian team, stand between those 2 men and any sort of World Championship title right now. And it's quite a bit to get through. Although the way MCMILLIN's playing, he has neutralized the 3 rows of Frédéric Collignon so far, and he provided tremendous offense throughout the match. GUMMESON backpin again. Dave makes the ball. GUMMESON shot attempt wide of the goal. Davy DEHOEST with a rebound. Shot grabbed by Collignon. A chance to send it back over the tornado table. Tied up at 3 for Frédéric Collignon. Shooting against Dave GUMMESON. Collignon will use a timeout.
Un temps mort pris par l'équipe de Belgique. 3-2 au score dans cette 5e manche.
15.
Le temps encore une fois pour les 4 acteurs de souffler un petit peu.
Frédéric Collignon looking intently on as he knows how important this ball is. He has a chance to tie this 5th game up at 3 and send the match back over to the tornado table. And here we go. Collignon putting it into play. He'll be shooting against Dave GUMMESON, who has played most of the match on the Roberto Sport table in the goalie position. Collignon fires it home. It's 3-3. Back over to tornado we go, but the Americans, GUMMESON and MCMILLIN, if they can get both of these, would be the champions. Of course, you can say the same thing about Frédéric Collignon and Davy DEHOEST. If they can get 2 on the Americans' home table, they too would be crowned as 2010 world champions. 3-3 in the 5th. As GUMMESON returning to the forward position, puts the ball back into play. Dave able to pass it through. He'll set it up, looking to move within 1 of the championship. At his best when he's aggressive offensively. After taking his time, trying to go to the straight hole here, DEHOEST makes the block and takes it away. DEHOEST off that inside wall towards the goal. MCMILLIN keeps it out and almost loses it. Tracy MCMILLIN. Sends it to the other end of the table, off the wall, into the goal. It is 4-3 in favor of the Americans. It is World Championship point for GUMMESON and MCMILLIN. Back comes Collignon. If he scores here, we'll go back and forth, one ball at a time between tables. Shooting against Tracy MCMILLIN, looking to tie it up at 4 here in game number 5. Frédéric Collignon. Chokes it down the middle. It's 4-4. Back to Roberto Sport we go for one ball.
Et maintenant, on va passer à une balle sur chaque table avec 2 points d'écart pour l'emporter.
It's Tracy MCMILLIN in the forward position for the Americans. Coming up against the 5-row of Dave GUMMESON, rather Frédéric Collignon. Dave GUMMESON in the goalie position. Davy DEHOEST, of course, in his familiar goalie position for the Belgian team. Tracy MCMILLIN. Pass attempt. Stolen away by Collignon. This is the Belgian home table. So right now the advantage slightly on the side. Tied up at 4. We're on the Belgian table. And Collignon able to pass it through and set it up. Looking to take a 5-4 lead. Collignon fires it home. So now it's World Championship point for the Belgians. They're up 5-4. We return to Tornado. Pressure on Dave GUMMESON. Dave GUMMESON of the great 5-row puts it into play. Able to pass it through the lane. GUMMESON will set it up in pull shot position. Looking to tie it up at 5. Send it back to Roberto Sport for 1. GUMMESON. Stokes on that long pull shot. It's 5-5. An exciting open doubles World Championship final. Tied up at 5 here in game 5 as we return to Roberto Sport. And Collignon putting the ball into play. Must win by 2, which means you've got to score on the other guy's table at some point. Collignon looks for a 6-5 lead, shooting against Tracy MCMILLIN, who's in the defensive position since it was Collignon's ball. Collignon works it around and calls timeout.
Le deuxième temps mort est par l'équipe belge, demandé par Frédéric Collignon. C'est le dernier temps mort de cette manche pour l'équipe belge.
5 points each in the 5th game. Tracy MCMILLIN focused. Will defend against Frédéric Collignon, who puts the ball back into play. Trying for a 6-5 lead from front pin position, Frédéric Collignon. Taking it all the way out to the far side of the goal. Bringing it back to the middle. Shot attempt blocked by MCMILLIN. The rebound comes down the table. And the jar called, ball will be awarded to Tracy MCMILLIN. The jar called against Collignon. Shot attempt bounces up into the air and off the table. Still 5-5. Davy DEHOEST will put the ball into play. Front pin, far side, DEHOEST. Shot down the middle, stabbed forward and grabbed by Dave GUMMESON. Does GUMMESON have a pull shot in him on the Roberto Sport table? He's going to call timeout and bring Tracy MCMILLIN into that forward position, I would believe. He's asking his partner, do you want to take it? Go ahead. He says, I think he's going to let Dave stay up there. Let's see. Nathan's deciding what to do. He will shoot. deciding whether he wants to go back there defensively. It's going to be McMillan, and it's going to be Collignon. All right, here we go. Collignon back there defensively against Tracy McMillan, who has an opportunity to give his team a 6-5 lead as he sets it up in pull shot position. Tracy McMillan for the lead. Don't shut home! Can a man play any better than Tracy McMillan is playing? Defensively, offensively, goalie, forward. The gentleman from Texas has been spectacular, and it is World Championship point for the Americans. Frédéric COLLIGNON will put the ball into play, and he does. Belgians going left to right. Pass attempt knocked down by GUMMESON. Tracy McMillan. It would be appropriate, wouldn't it? McMillan. Slot attempt angles towards the goal. Rebounded by David DEHOEST. The Belgians must have this one to stay alive. Knocked down and cracked on the 5-row by Dave GUMMESON. GUMMESON bringing it to the near side. Pass attempt blocked by Collignon. Comes back to Dave. Again, Dave, Lane, Wall. Which one? Wall, beautifully executed pass. For the win, Dave GUMMESON. Looking for the World Championship. He strokes it home! The Americans, Dave GUMMESON and Tracy McMillan, have won the ITSF Table Soccer Open Doubles title, defeating Frédéric Collignon and Davy DEHOEST in a classic match. What a performance by the Americans. What an amazing performance by McMillan.
Victoire américaine en quatrième en simple, c'est l'équipe donc double messieurs David GUMMESON et Tracy McMillan qui l'emportent dans cette finale du championnat du monde double messieurs. Retour dans quelques minutes sur la finale d'âme, composée de Simone Vulcan et de Sandra Ronca. Les Allemandes contre Anaïs Noël et Marine Paul, les deux Françaises. A tout de suite.